some of the poverty statistics that we had out there. The poorest 40% of the world's population account for 5% of the global income, and the richest 20% accounts for 3/4 of the world's income. And so when we hear Bernie talking about the poverty rates in America, that those statistics either hold steady or get worse when we apply them at global levels. And what poverty means to people, I'm sure anybody who's lived through any sort of stretch of poverty has an idea of what poverty feels like in everyday life. But the extreme poverty that the Red Nose Foundation or the Red Nose event and the Comic Foundation is trying to alleviate and trying to address, according to UNICEF, 22,000 children, 22,000 children. That's brothers, sisters, nieces, nephews, all that. 22,000 children die each day due to poverty. Each day. 22,000 children. That's the kind of now that's UNICEF, and they're a reasonably reputable group, and let's just say that that's an overestimation, and let's presume that it's actually lower than that. You have to get a lot lower than that before that stops being a horrific and tragic and devastating figure. That so many children, through no fault of their own, children aren't impoverished because they don't have a good work ethic. 22,000, or let's just say 2,000, to dramatically reduce it. 2,000 children that, through no fault of their own, are dying from poverty is a tragedy, and that it takes something like a Red Nose Day just to get it into some headlines and to get some attention is to me is another tragedy. But I think what I'd like to see people do, they don't necessarily need to contribute to the Red Nose group. They can just find a charity that deals with poverty, preferably, but just any charity that is a cause that you support. Please take this time, take this moment to reach out to them and to show your support in whatever way you can. If you can't donate, just support in whatever ways you can. So that, and just a few more statistics I wanted to mention on poverty, just for people to really get help folks, and I'm sure most people here probably have it, but just to remind folks of what poverty looks like around the world. That 27 to 28% of all children in developing countries are estimated to be underweight or stunted. So if they don't die, then they're still going to be, their growth is going to be stunted. And that doesn't just mean physical growth. When you're not getting proper nutrition as a child, that stunts your developmental growth for your brain as well. And so as we're familiar with the kids in Flint with their lead poisoning, the types of effects that stunting development of the brain at the early stages and vulnerable stages for these children is devastating. So to know that 27 to 28% in developing countries are living through that every day, it just means that we need to step up and do more. And so even if it's what you're doing is trying to donate to Bernie Sanders in order to get people so that we can give him the platform so that he can help bring both our nation's plights but also global plights to people's attention, and realize that our community isn't one of a small city or town or house, but one of an entire globe, and that we need to look out for all of each other. And one of the statistics that really reminds me of is that according to, and I want to make sure that I get this right, let's see here. According to the State of the World issue 287, and this is back from 1990 from 1997, but they were saying that less than 1% of the world spent excuse me, I'll just say it again. With less than 1% of what the world spends on weapons every year, we could put every child into school. And we didn't do it. We knew that back in 1997, that if we just took 1% if we could get the world to agree that we should spend 1% less on weapons of war about fighting each other, we could educate all of our children. And let's just say that those statistics aren't precise. It gives you an idea of how much more interested we are in fighting with each other from the national heads of state level than we are with educating our youth so that we can actually be a functional democracy both within America, and we can bring the democratic ideals of people being represented by their leaders around the world in a positive way, and not in one that's viewed as dropping democracy bombs on innocent people, which again is going to get highlighted later. And so I just really wanted to drill that. So sorry if I went on a little long on poverty, but thank you for paying attention and sticking with us. And so